Hey guys, welcome to yet another automation and AI tutorial out there. And in this particular video, we're going to talk about workflows in n8n. So, as you know, we have started our n8n series, and in this particular topic, we'll be covering the most fundamental and the foundational knowledge of any n8n automation, that is workflow. So, without further wasting much time, let us first go through the documentation to actually see what our workflow is, and then we will see how we can create one. So basically, in n8n, workflows are visual node-based automation chains. Which are built on the n8n platform that connects apps, APIs, and AI models to execute tasks without manual work. So they consists of three core elements, which are trigger, action nodes, and data routing logic. So the first one, which is trigger, is the event that start the process, like a webhook, a form submission, maybe a timer schedule, or maybe an incoming email as well. And then it is the action node, which actually determines which action will be performed. So like it includes the steps that perform work, such as fetching data from a database, creating a card in Trello, or even sending a message via Slack. And then we have the final layer, which is, to add the data control, which are the built-in rules like, filters, switches, loops, and custom JavaScript or Python codes, which are used to manipulate data paths. So yes, these are some of the things, and you can see this is how workflow looks like. So they have given an example in this particular and documentation. You can find this build your first workflow. So it is a guide on how you can create your first ever workflow. They have given this particular NASA example. So it what it does is that it is a schedule trigger for NASA if then there are two requests, as we can see in this particular option. So yes, we can add the same. So if you want, you can read out this particular documentation. It's a really great documentation. If you wish to read this about it, you can simply head on to this particular address, and then you can do it from here as well. So now let us create our first ever workflow in the actual n8n. So what I'm going to do is simply head on to my command prompt, and then I am running it as an administrator, right? So the next thing that we will be going to do is simply launch or n8n by typing in this n8n start command and then hitting the enter button. Just for wait for it to get loaded, and once our n8n is running on our local host or a local port, we can then access the same and then start creating our first uh, workflow. So as you can see, n8n is ready on port 5678. We'll just, okay, here it is. Now it is accessible onto this particular localhost port. We're going to simply copy this, go to a new tab, and then paste in the localhost link. And here you can see, since I have already logged in, it is not asking me again to log in, but in your case, it could have. And then we're going to click onto this build workflow option. And now here is the first step. This particular window contains three options: the editor, the executions, and the evaluations. So the first one is the editor. From here, we're gonna take our first step. We're gonna click on do this option, which is the first thing that we learned, which was the trigger node. So before executing the workflow, like what will be the trigger point which will actually execute the workflow. Click onto this, and from here we have these different options. You can choose to trigger it manually, right? Runs the flow on clicking a button in n8n. Good for getting started quickly. An app event, on a schedule, on web call, on form submission, when executed by another workflow, on chat message, or even other ways which you can see right here, like email trigger, error trigger, MCP server trigger, n8n itself, or the SSE trigger as well. So for the simplicity of this video, we're gonna click onto this trigger manual option. Now, what happens when you click the execute workflow button? We need it to perform any action. So we will be adding, the action uh, node right here. So what happens next? Like what actually happens? Like an action in an app, AI, data transformation, flow, code, human review, what actually happens? So from here, or if you wish, you can also add, these options as well, which are right here as well. Okay, so we're gonna click onto this plus option and then we can add anything. Maybe let's say code. So yes, when we trigger, a code should run. You can choose anyone like a code in, Python or any code in JavaScript. And we're gonna have these two options like run once for all items. So this means that this code will be run only once, no matter how many input items are there. And the second option is run for each item. This means run this code as many as times there are input items. For simplicity, we're gonna choose this option only. And then we will let's find a simple Python code. I'm not looking for like even a hello world, but I know it is what it's going to give me. But for example, okay, let's go with this one. Like this is a simple Python code right here. I'll simply remove these. Okay, and now once we are done with this, the next thing that we have is the settings option as well. Like we have these options like always output data. We can enable this. The node would output an empty item if nothing would normally be returned. We have this execute once and also a retry on fail option as well. And then on error, we have these three options that is stop workflow, continue or continue using error output. So yes, basically we have the error handling here as well. We're gonna choose a stop workflow because we don't want it to, go through a constrained loop if the code is actually wrong. Then the next thing we're gonna do is simply test this out. We're going to click onto this, execute step. So once we do this, it says problem in node code in Python. So it says Python runner unavailable, virtual environment is missing from this particular system. Okay, so this means a virtual environment needs to be set up first if you wish to add any particular, code in there. So let's say this node is right now not useful for us. We can simply click onto this delete button, in order to delete this. So apart from that, if we go, we also have these options like action in an app. So if we choose this, we will need to connect it via, any particular API, like we have these for examples. Apart from that, we also have data transformation. So like date and time, edit fields, filter, limit, remove duplicate, split out, aggregate, merge, and a lot of things which you can see right here. So let's try work with HTML. Let's say we will generate an HTML template. Yes, let's say this particular HTML template, and then we're gonna click on to execute step, and here you can see this will be the particular template. Now, once that is done, you can see that our basic workflow is successfully completed. So what this workflow does is that every time I will click onto this execute workflow button, it will give me this particular result out there which says workflow executed successfully, and it will generate, this particular HTML file. Now, if I want to even see it, I can, also change it. Like I can, even if I want a single step to be executed, I can simply click onto this execute step. There are also other options like rename, replace, deactivate if any particular step is, uh, is not functioning up to the mark. You can simply disable it as well. You can double click onto this, go to the settings as well. You can also always click onto this always output data. So, it will provide you an output as well. So yes, here is the probably the output which will be visible. And by this, you can see all of the workflow from here. Then apart from that, we also have this execution history as well, which you can see right here. Even it even shows us the error that we got and all of the successful attempts that actually did happened. And then we have the evaluations. So yes, you can also register your community instances, to unlock the evaluation feature as well. So yes, that is for another part of the video. You can also choose to publish them, and there are a lot of things, but we'll be covering that, in the later videos. So yes, this is pretty much about that we did, in this particular tutorial that we created our own very, very basic workflow, like the most simplest one that clicking this button, creates an HTML page like this. So yes, that was pretty much it about this particular tutorial. I hope I'll see you in the next one. So thank you for watching and have a nice day.